My name is Annie Ndichu. I'm a cancer survivor and a bone marrow transplant recipient. Yes.
So, tell us a bit about your story.
So, I started having issues in 2009. I was in high school back then. I had a case of eczema. It was skin allergy. Then I sought what medication to different hospitals. So I started seeing one doctor in 2010. I was in Form 4 back then. He gave me a bit of steroids, a lot of them. That made me a bit change physically. I was a bit okay. I was extremely brown, and I had a puffy face back then. And then later on, I saw him for like 5 years, and then he decided we do a biopsy, a skin biopsy. That's when I was told I need that's when I was told I have cancer. So I did want to do the I did want to do the, what is it called, the medication here in Kenya. So I sought it outside the country. I went to India. I did chemotherapies and then numerous cycles of radiotherapy, and then I was back home. Then he had said, my doctor in India had told me I need to do, what is it called? I need to do, to come back for a review after 6 months. So after 6 months, I went back, and then that was the time I was told it had relapsed, the cancer had relapsed, and it's almost stage 4. Yeah.
Okay. So, when did the doctor tell you you'd need a bone marrow transplant?
First of all, when I went back for a review, my doctor told me to do these numerous tests, and I did them. Then I took the reports back to the doctor. At that time, I did not have that experience of checking my test before, my results before taking them to the doctor. I didn't have that experience as much. So innocently, I took the reports. He checked them, and then he told me I needed one more test. I went back and did the test, and then after 3 days, it came out, and he told me I don't have cancer, but I need to do 2 cycles of chemotherapy. I did not understand why I should do chemotherapy and I don't have cancer, but I tend to think he wanted to not to hurt me or make me shocked at that time. So he told me I just need to have 2 cycles of chemotherapy, and then, but I don't have cancer. So I did not understand. So I told him I would not do it. He told me then do this for me, because at that point I had told my mom, we were with my mom that time. So I told him I was thinking of leaving the country after a month, and I had already stayed there for 2 weeks. So I was not that time open-minded. I thought I'll just go to and do my review and then go back home. So I think I was in denial. So he told me, then you don't have to do the chemos. I need you to go see this friend doctor of mine, and then he will tell you the way forward. So we went to this doctor. I told him, Dr. and so has told me to see you. So I went to the doctor. He read my reports. As he was reading the reports. He could ask me, Annie, why do you have? I can see in your reports you have swollen lymph nodes. And I will tell him, no, don't worry, it's because I have a blister on my hand, that's why I have a lymph node. And I think I was so much in denial, so much. So I will tell him, I need to go home after you have read the reports. I need you to fill some form so that you can release me from the hospital. He will tell me, sawa, it's okay. So he took back I took back the reports. He gave me the reports, and then he started filling the form. And then he told me, I think I've missed something. Give me back the reports. So when he was reading them slowly, he told me, Annie, you're very sick. Actually, you're really sick. This is almost stage 4 cancer. You need a donor. You need a bone marrow transplant. You need $50,000 to $70,000, and you need to have aggressive chemotherapies. That's the time I was told. And then my mom wasn't that strong. She started crying. It was very heartbreaking for her. So when she told me that, he told me that, the doctor looked at my mom and told my mom, "Mama, don't worry. I'm sorry I've hurt you, but that's the truth. Annie is very, very sick." Yes.
So what went through your mind at that point?
At that time, I was very shocked because he was giving me a lot of information at the same time, bad information at the same time. So I could not understand what's the relationship between a transplant and cancer patient. I did not quite understand. I did not understand what's bone marrow. Is something wrong with my bone or something? I did not understand. In my spiritual direction, I felt betrayed by God. I actually kept asking God, where do you think we are getting 5 million, 7 million shillings? We have never had that a large sum of money in my family. 7 million is so much. In my head, I was like, I'm 150% sure I'm dying. I'm not going to make this. So at that time, mom was crying, but I had to put that brave face because I wanted to ask him more questions. So I asked the doctor, what's the survival rate? He told me it's a 50-50%. You cannot, you might or might not survive. I'm going to give you aggressive chemotherapy so that it can calm, your cancer cells can calm down. Then that time you'll be eligible for bone marrow transplant. I was so shocked. I remember that time. Mom had now come down, so we went back home. But at that, when we were in the doctor's office, he wrote a lot of tests. It seemed like an emergency. He called some lab, some doctors, so that I could do the test in a week, so that we can start. Because the cancer was almost stage 4, so it needed the whole process had to be rushed. So I went back home. I was very, very, very mad. I was very mad at God, actually, because I felt what we were being told at that time. I couldn't believe. I couldn't think of my way of surviving. I thought I'll do my first chemotherapy and then I'm going to die. I'm not going to go hop on the plane and go home. It will be me at the cargo going home, being shipped back home. I was so sure I was not going to make it. So I went back home. Mom had come down. I told my mom, please call my dad and tell him, we need, what has happened. We need 7 million shillings. I need a bone marrow transplant, whatever. I didn't understand what's a bone marrow. I didn't want to Google. So I went home. I went to the hotel room. I cried. I shut God off. I could feel his presence, but I shut him off. I was like, I'm so mad at you. This all you. And after 3 days, I told God, come, let's have a covenant. Let's talk. I'm going to go through all this. I'm going to have faith in you. I'm going to be strong. I'm going to trust in you. I'm going to have hope. And on your side, don't let me die. Don't let this ever come back again in my body. And don't let the financial breakthrough come through for us. So after we had that, we talked with God. After that, I put my armor, the armor of God, and went to war. Now I'm here.
Amen.
Yes.
So I'm seeing that religion helped you deal with it.
Yes.
Is there anything else other than religion?
Family, friends, the few friends that were there, and music, because I was in so much pain. Because now music was making it a bit easier, but mostly it's family, friends, yes, and music. Music, actually, yes.
And how did you decide on who you'd ask to be your donor?
So as I was doing my chemotherapies, the doctor kept preparing me, and he told me I need a close family member, my sibling, and he or she should be younger than me. Yeah, it had to be younger than me. So that had to be, I'm the firstborn, so that had to be my brother or my sister. So yeah, they did the test, and then my sister was a half match. It was 50-50, and the doctor told me, Apana, we can't do that. It will be very risky. So then we tried mom. Still it came a half match. I did not understand that, how it's it's a half match.
Yeah.
But now the one who's eligible for the transplant was my small sister, of which I went through with a half match.